a new UK Hyrox season fast approaching and a new Hyrox Ambassador role to fulfill. Hello and welcome to On the Rocks podcast with me, Coach Marshy. So with the new UK Hyrox season fast approaching, I'm going to welcome in today's guest and let's get talking about everything Hyrox. Hello and welcome, Rob. How are you, mate?
Hello, how are we doing? You okay?
Yeah, all good. Yourself? You good?
Yeah, not bad. All good.
So with the new season approaching, quick question, the off season, how do you get on with the off season? Do you like it or not?
Yeah, do you know, it's a chance just to get good at the stuff that you're bad at and just relax for a bit and just get back into different types of fitness before it starts getting serious again. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, you kind of like, it's nice to have a little play in the gym and just do the things that you don't normally do.
Yeah.
So kind of let's jump straight into what I said there at the beginning. So first of all, congratulations to yourself for being named as a UK Hyrox Ambassador. How does that feel?
It's good. Yes, this is me second season, so it was an honour to be able to ask to come back. So yeah, it was great. Obviously, I come halfway through last season, and yeah, so to start from the beginning to do the proper process, it's good. I like it.
And in terms of that process, sort of how does that work for anyone who's a bit naive to it? We kind of, we scroll Instagram or whatever, and we see that there's all these ambassadors, males, females, all different types of athlete. What's the process for that? Do you approach Hyrox? Do they approach you? Is it a bit of both?
So what happened was I was doing an event for charity. It was I was doing 24 Hyrox workouts in 24 hours. And it was for the SANS charity. We were spreading awareness for postnatal, it was just like still baby birth and things like that. That was because I lost my son 8 years ago, and we were just trying to raise money for that. Obviously, I've let Hyrox know about the event, and then they brought all this up, and then it just went from there really, and then next thing we know, we were an ambassador that they got involved. They were, which I was appreciated everything they did for us. They, reposted the stuff on Instagram, and from there, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, no, something that always comes out on these shows, and we're only sort of 12 shows in, but there's always stories that people don't understand behind things. And I think many of your followers would have probably seen that charity event as I did, and perhaps didn't understand the kind of the origin of why. And that's very clear from what you've just said. And, sorry to hear that. And that's a hard thing in life to go through. And I can relate, not exactly the same, but I can relate. So I understand it, but people won't understand that. But does training and doing sport help that coping mechanism?
100%. I think obviously you need sometimes. I feel like when you're in like a bit of a dark place, or you want to try and get through something tough in life, fitness has always been there for me to get through that. Whether it means going to the gym by myself, turning the music up full blast, and just putting myself in a hole for a while, that's always been there. And I feel like with Hyrox as well, because there's such the community. I've never come across anything like this before. Like the community of it is so like together. It's everyone's just there for everyone, and it's that was the biggest like feature and point that I can take away from the Hyrox community. Everyone was just supportive and just 100% behind your back through the full thing. So it was it was good. It was great.
Yeah, and in terms of that event, how many of the 20? I'm assuming that like there was always someone starting like a kind of Hyrox workout every hour, was it?
Well, that's the point. I just intended to do it by myself. I thought I'm going to do it, and no one's going to want to join in. And literally, as soon as someone found out about it, then the next person wants to join in, and then everyone everyone wanted to get involved, which was an honor, really. Like just the fact that people wanted to be involved in something like that, because it's not nice. It's not like people were there coming in at 2 o'clock in the morning, like the hours of death. Do you know what I mean? Where everyone was dying to go to sleep, but yeah, people coming like food, drinks. It was just great to see. Just great to see the support. It was nice. It was good.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. And fellow Hyrox ambassador Travis, I saw his event in the flesh as well. That had similar aspects to it as well. You know, sort of trays of donuts turning up, and you know, all the stuff you're going to need at 2 a.m. when you're absolutely
yeah. You need them at 8 a.m. You need them all the way through the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the carb load all the way through.
Yeah.
So back to the ambassadorship. You excited about this season as an ambassador?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can't wait to actually to get back involved in it. And it's been lonely these past couple of months. It's good just I can't wait for Birmingham to kick off and just go and see everyone again. It's going to be great.
Yeah, no, and you mentioned the community already, and I think we tend to get a bit of feedback from people that are new to the sport, find the podcast, and you know the feedback we've had from that kind of population is that when they turn up to a Hyrox for the first time, they cannot believe that in the fitness industry, which you and I can relate to, they cannot believe the like community that they've walked into, because they expected maybe it to be a bit, you know, showy and a bit, you know, people with egos, but actually in reality, even if you're, you know, Meg, Sandy, Hunter, whoever, they haven't even got the egos. You know, it's
100%.
everyone talks to everyone. So, you know, I think that's a big point that you raise, and we'll probably go more into that in a bit. But in terms of the ambassador role, what is it that Hyrox kind of, what do you bring to them? What do they bring to you? What do they expect you to do as part of that role, really?
I think as long as like I feel like the ambassador role is we're trying to prove to everyone, not prove to everyone, but show everyone it's not just about these athletes that are running around the track. They're all doing sub hours and stuff like that. We're actually normal people, and Hyrox literally is. I know you've heard it 100 times, but Hyrox is for everyone. It's not just for the elite 15. It is for anyone that wants to put themselves, you know, on the track and enjoy themselves. It's not just for the fittest of the fittest. It's you know, just to have the experience to come enjoy yourself for the day, meet this group of people that you're going to see at Glasgow, and then see him again in London. Do you know what I mean? In Dublin, you'll see him all over. You see him all. I bump into him all over the world. It's just a great community to get into, and I think the more they see normal people, the more likely they're going to understand that it's not just for, obviously, the elite 15. Great, but realistically, the majority of us are never going to be in the elite 15. But it's just it is a great community to get involved with and to jump along with the ride.
Yeah, no, and I think anyone, and you were there, I was there, whoever went to Nice, you know, anyone listening who went to Nice you go to Nice, and I know I appreciate we overtook a little bit in terms of the British, but I think you even go somewhere like that and you're seeing those faces, or you're seeing those faces even from other countries as well, and you're building those relationships, right, with people that don't live anywhere near you. But the thing that you have in common is Hyrox, and then you have a 5-minute chat here and there, and then before you know it, you're actually sitting at the after party having a beer or whatever. And it I completely hear you. And actually, I wonder if, you know, people like you and I in the fitness industry and other people that have been attracted to Hyrox, if that is what has called us into this sport more than the actual sport itself.
That does make a lot of sense.
It's a question that I would like to ask a lot of people, because, you know, why did Mo and Christian start in the first place? When you actually listen to what they say, there's a lot of community stuff behind what they're saying, or in my opinion, that's how I perceive what they've said, as well as, and this is where I think it is nice, and you've highlighted it, that difference between the elite 15 and the everyday athlete, if you want to call us that, is zero when it comes to off the track, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that does make sense. Yeah.
there's nothing between it, in my opinion. And I just wondered what your thoughts were on that, in terms of, you kind of said it a bit, but in terms of like literally in the moment you were, I remember seeing you at Worlds actually from a distance, you were kind of around the finish area. I think you might have been volunteering in there or something. And, you know, you're talking to whoever's just finished. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter whether they're, you know, Jade Skillen, Meg Jacoby, Lauren Weeks, you know, Zara and Kate. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah.
It could be my mate Tatey for all you care, and you'd still talk to him. And it's just like,
Yeah.
do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like everyone, once you're in that circle, everyone's just there for everyone else. It's not. I think it was just an experience to even, obviously you've got to Worlds. That was just an experience to qualify and be at Worlds. That was just you were happy enough getting there. But even just the support, I think most, like the majority of the people that were at Worlds had qualified, so everyone was just happy being around it all and involved. It was just a big day out for us all, really, wasn't it? But it was good. It was good to see. I think as soon as you cross that finish line and you're in that you know, the finish area, like everyone just talks to everyone. Everyone just, you can't shut anyone up. Everyone's just, but it's great. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, no, it's nice, and I kind of hear that from a kind of, I didn't qualify myself, but I was there with our athletes from my gym, and it absolutely was. It was everything you've just said. So let's kind of talk about you as the hybrid athlete now. You know, is this whole like resistance, cardio racing, endurance racing been something that you've always kind of been interested in since you got into fitness, or has it grown with the industry?
I'll be honest, when I first started, when I was younger, it was always, oh, let's go and try and bench 100 odd key on a Monday, and then pull-ups on a Friday, you know, on a Tuesday, and that typical bro split. And it got to the point when I was just like, this is boring. I can't, like, the same thing every single, and then we bumped into like a little bits of at the CrossFit Open, you know, when everyone's like passing the workouts around and trying to do little bits of that, and then the next challenge was coming up, and then these workouts were getting longer and longer. And then someone threw the Hyrox workout to us, and we've had a go. Like, wow, what's this? This is minging. It's, you know, just like a big lump of graft we sink our teeth into. And from that, and like I remember going to our first one was in Glasgow. Got on the train down by myself. Went up there, sorry, and then I got disqualified. Got all the stations wrong way around, and yeah, so that was another story for another time. But then looking back, like all the pictures, I'm just smiling. Like I know I've got the station wrong, but I'm having the best time of my life. I've crossed the finish line, so happy, and yeah, and then from there I thought, right, I'm gonna have to at least learn how to count to 8, get my stations in the right order, and then come back and have another go. And it was just having a chance just to just beat my own time, or you know what I mean? That was that's what I just got addicted to.
Yeah.
And then because the exercises, they are, I'm not going to say they're easy, but they're easy enough to go away and, you know, improve them.
Yeah.
But, and try and make them faster. So it's, I think, say if they were, for example, if they were muscle ups and walking around on your hands, it's just not really, I don't know, it's just not, you can get so good at it, but then the injuries will come, a lot more injuries will come with that. And it's because they're so easy to go to the gym, practice. I think that's what makes it so like accessible for everyone. And just so you can come back and have a better go. That's my look on it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think, you know, that's come up time and time again already, really. And how I agree with what you said, actually. It's good that someone's brought that up, because it's something that I really share with you then, is that I don't suppose I could get my sister to do this from nothing. But what I could do is give her a 6-week program. And by the end of that 6 weeks, she'd be able to effectively do each of the types of exercise of the 8 stations.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then beyond that, then you got to build the base and do all the rest of it. I get that. But I think it is accessible to everyone. But I think the way you put it is perfect, because you can go away. Anyone, whoever you are, could go away and work on those fundamental parts of each of the 8 stations.
Yeah.
And then either come back to complete your first race or come back and hopefully beat your time, or,
Exactly. Yeah.
Or like you said on your first race, get it completely wrong, but still have the best day out in the world.
Exactly.
And I've seen a few of them. I'm sure you've seen a few of those, which we might talk about in the coaching section in a minute.
Yeah.
But in terms of like you as an athlete, how has that developed? Have you then gone on to have you done like open and pro? Have you done doubles, mixed doubles? What have you done?
So I started off with the open, and then I kept doing a couple of those. Then I booked my first pro back in Glasgow, so I was going to run the same race again in Glasgow, but like an idiot, I'd booked pro, a doubles, and a relay on the same weekend because I thought for some reason I was Superman. And then, but leading up to this, like I could feel something wrong with my foot. So I thought something's not right. But obviously, I'm training. Right, okay, I'm going to take the running out of the program. I'm going to stop running for a couple of weeks and see what. I'm going to physio. He's like, no, I have no idea what this thing is with your foot. So the first race of the weekend, it was a doubles. I thought I'll get the doubles out of the way because that's easy. And then at the end of the day, I'll do the pro and do the relay the next day. So we've gone for like a 1K run around the arena. Thought, well, okay, yeah, let's just go. It feels all right. Bang, we set off. Before I've got to the sled push, I thought, wow, now my foot's in pieces. There's something wrong with. So like I'm on all the videos, I'm like limping like this, cross the finish line. And I'm on the, you go up the ramp and you're on so I'm on my hands and knees now, thinking, wow, something's weird. Like the adrenaline's starting to come out of me. I'm starting to feel the pain of it. Hands and knees, get to the deck chair, sat in the deck chair. The girl that just done doubles with is like, yeah, you look a bit white. Oh, do I? And then as soon as someone says you look white, like you start to feel like, oh, I'm going to be sick.
Feel it. Yeah.
All I remember thinking was, right, I need to get out of this deck chair. Just tried to stand up, couldn't stand up, and I can see the wheelchair at the side of the so next rammed now. So have you ever seen like Top Gear and they've got like the loaner car at the end?
Yeah.
So that's what this wheelchair was like. I think I need to get out this finish area. Couldn't get out of the chair. Wheelchair's come, whipped us up to hospital, and I'd snapped the fibula and torn a tendon.
Oh wow!
So the pro was off. So
are we did they speculate that you ran most of that race having snapped it, or did it snap at the end?
It would no. That was gone after the sled push. 100%. I just thought, and if it was only the adrenaline that's got me through.
Yeah.
But obviously, as we finished, the adrenaline's and because.
Body's clever, isn't it? The body's so funny because it'll just get
you through.
Though,
stupid. Like it's like I think I was just chasing my partner all the way through. If it wasn't there, I wouldn't have finished it. But yeah. So that was the pro out the window. So my next pro is the Birmingham in the first one.
First one of the season.
Yeah.
Which will be cool. So is that the first pro?
That's my first pro.
Since then.
Yeah.
Since that.
Well, that was meant to be my first pro then, and that was in the bin, and then so now we're gonna go again. Right. So hopefully I'm not gonna do doubles before that and snap it again. Touch wood.
Yeah, no, you've personally. I don't talk too much about my Hyrox on here, but you've personally worried me actually because you've just said something, and I'm definitely guilty for XL. I've booked it all. I've booked it all, and I'm like, oh, what have you done?
Yeah.
And actually, hearing you say that, I'm thinking, oh no, what have I actually done here? But I guess the advantage I've got is because they threw the Friday in, I can do my solo on the Friday.
Yeah.
So I'll do that, get out of the way.
Yeah,
hopefully, nothing will happen. Yeah. Oh, mate, that's quite a cool story now that you're kind of back and recovered.
And somehow we qualified.
Yes, because I'm assuming that then took you to Nice, right?
Yeah, that was the mad thing. But I think I don't know.
Yeah.
So you had that time, it's like I think now I've really got to rest this foot and get it ready for. But obviously, that was the beauty of once you got to Nice, you're just trying to beat your old time. But I suppose it wasn't hard because I ran it with a broken foot.
So Nice was your first world champs, was it?
Yes, yeah, it was. Yeah.
And obviously, like you said, mixed doubles. Is that mixed doubles partner a client, a friend, your partner?
That was she started off as a client, and now we've all become good friends now. Yeah, she's
That's
still a
cool.
client. Yeah,
Yeah. That's good, isn't it? And that's another example. And if you, people will be listening and watching that aren't coaches, but you develop those relationships with people, and then you feel like you can do something like that with them, and actually be each other's training partners and be each other's kind of competition partner. And that is that's cool. And I've experienced that, so I appreciate the cool side of that. Even though they remain still a client, they're become
she's
a good friend.
beast as well. She did 3 races in Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
So what?
And mine was fast, and I was hoping she'd be like, by the time she come to me, she'd be slow, but she still wasn't slow. I was still
Did she do solo, women's doubles, and mixed doubles?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's no, that's cool. We talk about that sort of stuff on the side. I mean, me and Carol, one of my coaches here at the gym, we're obsessed. And she was at Worlds, and she unfortunately didn't get to do her doubles. She was going to do doubles on the Sunday with Badass Gran. But Celia, sorry.
Does she train with you?
She's been to my gym a few times. She's local to the area, so she was going to do it with Carol, but because they qualified in Olympia, but it was always their second race, if that makes sense. They both qualified individually on the Saturday, and they both did their solo, and they just decided that it wasn't correct for them to go ahead and do it, which turned out to be the right decision. But people like your doubles partner doing all 3, that's cool, isn't it? That's epic.
She's crazy. Honestly, she's crazy. I've never met anyone like her. She's like a coach's nightmare. Like you're trying to tell her, it's like, I'm not even lying. I'm trying to tell her to train once a day. It's just come through my watch. Susie's finished the workout. Like, what's she doing? She's in tonight.
We all know him. Any coaches listening, by the way, you'll absolutely relate to that. Surely we've all got those types of people, and really they are just machines, and they can absolutely smash it. So, and then in terms of, so you mentioned obviously you're going to be doing Birmingham, and you're going for your pro. What does this sort of new season? I've got to say the excitement's building. Social media, sort of talking to people at my gym, talking to you now. That excitement is growing. What is the aspiration for you as an athlete this season? And from that, have you got like a longer term plan as well?
So with this season, I want to try and get in as many races like strategically that I can get in. I feel like last season, I feel like the foot was down to doing races at the wrong time. I think I was, off the top of my head, I can't remember where it was. I think I'd raced the week before at Birmingham or at Glasgow. It was at Barca. I'd raced somewhere before, and so I was doing 2 minutes close at the same time. But I think if you can do it right, where you do like a doubles one time and then like an open and then a pro, or I think this season I'm going to do a pro at Birmingham, and then I'm going to Poland with a load of my clients. Just going to do an open. And I feel like if you've got the chance to do these races at different times, you should focus on going hard on a certain thing. So, for example, because it's an open, I'm going to focus on trying to blitz my runs. That's my task for the one in Poland is this. I'm just going to try and nail my runs. That's my task to do on that one. So I'm not really, obviously I'm still really bothered about the stations, but I'm going to see how much I can push it on the runs. And try and learn what I can from that. And so the more I can learn from doing these races this way, the more I can like put it into my programs when I'm coaching my clients, instead of like, because it's like with certain races, obviously it's good. It's really good with the UK races, how it's so busy, but I wouldn't be able to push the runs as much in a UK race because the ones abroad are not as busy, a bit quieter. Whereas the track, you're darting and around. Does that make sense? So I'm going to make the most out of the races being a little bit quieter abroad and just see what I can take from that and put it into my programs and give it to my clients. That's me. That's the plan.
Yeah, and I'm literally we're gonna let that transition us into the coaching side of this. But last question on you as an athlete: is there the aspiration to be at the World Championships next at the end of this current season coming?
Of course, that I think that secretly that's always like that's something I want to hit. But yeah, I think I don't want to put too much pressure on myself because I don't want to I don't want to zap any fun out of it because I want to enjoy it at the same time. But obviously, if I can make it to World Champs again, I'd be buzzing with that. That's my.
And as we've mentioned that at this point in the show, any speculative guesses on where you think it will be, or what you think their play will be with that?
I reckon it'll be held this year.
Yeah, for the World Champs. Do you know? And you're not allowed to tell us.
Do you know what? No, I don't. I've heard it's going to be in Preston.
Yeah.
No.
To be fair, it was in Manchester. So you know.
But then again, like the UK ones are round, so that makes sense to be over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Not a clue.
Do you think they'll stay in Europe?
Yeah.
Do you think they need to do that?
Nah, they can go wherever. I feel they can go wherever they want, but I feel like it's the majority of it seems to be in Europe. Like when you went to Nice and you seen all the names, like where they're all from, the majority of them were from Europe. So I suppose there's a geographical.
But then if you look at the sport and you look at the girls, how many Americans are on the podium in not just the top 3 in the Elite 15, you know, all like who did we have? Vivian and Lauren and Meg. But like actually if you look at the age groups for the women, so many Americans. And I kind of said what you said, and then I looked at it and I was like, I'm not sure here. Like
America would be nice though. It'd be nice to
I mean East Coast would be awesome. I mean
taking off over there quick at the moment. Like
that New York venue, by the way. I don't know if you saw it. That looked pretty decent. That looked like a bit quirky, didn't it? It looked different on a pier. But,
I'm looking forward to seeing Nick Bear in Dallas. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes. Yeah, because obviously, like all of he's like a massive ultra runner, right? And goes through all sorts of things. And then there's quite a long list of people that I'm interested in seeing them when they take Hyrox this year.
Yeah.
I think there seems to be a big transition of footballers that retire that want to come and give this a go as well. But we'll see how that goes on. So as a coach, you bring up some good points, and I'm going to start off with a bit of a strange avenue here. When you're going to Hyrox, you're going as an athlete because you enjoy the sport, but you're a coach as well. So is it work? Is it play? Is it grey? What is it?
Yeah, it's everything. It's everything, because I feel like, you always say to your clients, don't stay in there longer than an hour before your race. Don't zap yourself of energy. And then they just see me in there like 5 hours before, I hit the sidelines. And then by the time it comes to I can't help myself but just get in there and try and encourage everyone as much as I can. I do try and nip in and then nip back out and nip in, but I feel like the graft has been done before they even get to that race. Like there's nothing more that can be done even in the last week besides get injured. So it's literally just mindset from there on in. Like as long as they've got their head in the game and they're good to go, like as long as they can count to 8, they're all good.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. And I completely agree. But do you feel as a coach do you feel they need you there? And do you feel responsible as a coach that you should travel?
I feel like I feel bad when I'm not there. I do, because I feel guilty. So like if I'm not there, so we've got this, obviously the places that I can't get to. I've got clients like across the world that we get, like I'll stay up all night watching them. And I had a few that were in Australia last weekend, and I'm in bed like swiping, and I'll stay up and FaceTime them. But the ones that are local, most of the time I'm racing anyway.
Yeah.
So I will be in the vicinity, but yeah, I do feel like if it was me, if I see my coach at the sideline telling me to get a wriggle on, I'd be like, right, okay, go. It's just something so little, but then because we've been lucky enough to have so many people that we've met across the with the community, there's always people that my guys will know, like through something else. So they've always got someone there that will give them a kick up the backside to get moving.
Yeah, no, I agree. I saw that actually in the over 60s community. There seems to be a bit of a group and a bit of a community with that. I'm privy to it, I guess, because Carol is over 60 and has been on the podium in Nice, and she's introduced me to a lot of those people. But as we crept around watching those guys on the doubles, having obviously Carol done it on the Saturday, then we went and followed a few of those guys. What we realized is they all clumped together like their own community. They weren't, no one was like a few of them from Birmingham go to Forders, a few of them are like Team Grit from the OCR world, that they're part of that. There's a few of us Purple Army guys. There's people from all over the country, but we're almost like just all gathered to watch those guys go round. So I totally appreciate what you're saying, and I think anyone who's looking to get into this and perhaps is looking for some sort of community and sense of community, it's not going to be lacking. Even if your coach and your gym mates can't necessarily come with you straight away.
Yeah.
Actually, you're going to get to know people, and I think you're right. I think when we can't go as coaches, that royal we as coaches, because I'm sure many of us feel that pressure. You feel bad for not going, as you put it. I think I share that with you, and actually, it's nice to know there are other people that will recognise them and will know them, which is cool.
We're always there in spirit.
Well, 100%. Like, to be fair though, I don't know about you, but I'd do this till the cows come home. I'd do it. I'm like, game, let's just crack on a bit. And
sometimes you wouldn't want me there. Like, I know what, like, I remember, see, when it comes to the wall balls, and like, I remember watching a mother and her son like cross the line, and I'm literally jumping over the barricades, and I'm running up the ramp with him and hugging him, and like, it's not my moment. I don't even know why I'm thinking I can get involved in something like that, and I'm just there hugging him, and like seeing him on them wall balls, and like the stuff that comes out of my mouth when I'm making him pick that wall ball up. I don't think I'd want, like, I'm probably not the best person to be there, just screaming at him all the time.
But is there a lot of emotion for you in coaching Hyrox?
Yeah, because you've seen the journey, and you've seen, like, because I chat a lot to my clients, and they'll express. Obviously, you're not afraid for when you first do race, but obviously the anxiety's there, so you can hear it in their voice. It's daunting. It's like a daunting thing to do if you've never done it before, for example. So a lot of people don't come to us to. Obviously, it's nice to podium, but the ones that I have a bigger connection with are the ones that have come super scared of doing this big Hyrox race. You've seen them, and they're just watching them grow, and then having the confidence just to put themselves through this race. It could take them 2 hours, but it's like you're not bothered, like, just watching them cross that finish line. They're just in tears because of what they've completed themselves. They're the ones that those races mean more to me than the ones that got to the podium.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I share that
100%. When you think they've been grafting for an hour and 45 minutes, like, I appreciate someone's just done it in an hour, but imagine doing it for an hour and 45.
Yeah.
So it's like,
No, I agree. I think it's a good point that you make, and I think people should. I'd like to think Hyrox would look at it like that and see that as important as well. I think they do. I haven't had a chance to chat to them yet on here. I'd like to, and I'd probably ask those sorts of questions. Because it is about all of those guys as well. And as coaches, there is that reward to that I think if you're not a coach, it's going to be very hard for people like you and I to actually explain why.
Yeah.
to somebody.
100%.
But yeah, absolutely. And then something I've been wanting to ask you this, because I love it. I love this. I'll just pre-frame it for you and I'll load the question. But on your Instagram bio,
Yeah.
turning fitness enthusiasts into hybrid comp athletes.
Yeah.
Can you just kind of, I love it and I think I get it, but can you just elaborate what you kind of, is it what it says on the tin of it?
I probably never thought of it too much. I've just thought, like, obviously, if you like a bit of fitness, I feel like the word athlete, I feel like, obviously, you hear the word athlete and you think, right, these Olympians, but really, like, someone that's just complete, like, I think the Hyrox race is an athletic sport. Do you know what I mean? It's graphics, hard work. So, like, my job is what I want to, like, get involved with is to take people that like fitness or interested in fitness and make them or create them into someone that can cross the finish line of a Hyrox race or any race. Just I want to get more out of them, or let them believe that they can. Do you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
let know they can do it. Like everyone, yeah. That's my way of looking at it.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. And in terms of like your coaching program and what you offer, do you do
Yeah.
some stuff in person in the north of Cambridge and Preston area, and do you do
So,
online stuff as well?
so it's mainly online, but I do obviously do one-to-one with people as well, because the majority of them, they're not from my area. The online stuff are not from my area, because there's people across the world on the RJ coaching app. So, but we do work in face to face with them as well. For the ones that are lucky enough to be local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That sounds cool. So we'll talk. People can sort of follow you on Instagram, and they can have a look at you and
Yeah.
learn a bit about the program that way. Is there anywhere else they can get information about it, or is that the main way to look?
It's mainly through the Instagrams are probably the best way. That is r.james coaching, and we're now digital partner with Hyrox. So if you go onto the Hyrox website, you'll see it on there as well.
No, awesome. That's cool. That's awesome. So Hyrox as a sport, hybrid fitness. In fact, let's do hybrid fitness, not Hyrox. Let's do hybrid fitness first. Then we'll go back to Hyrox as a sport. But hybrid fitness, the idea of this hybrid world, what do you make of it as a coach? Do you think there's going to be more to it than just Hyrox going forward in the future?
I think there's I'm seeing a lot more races and a lot more avenues tipping up, like, which is understandable. I don't blame it, but one thing the question I do hear a lot is, are Hyrox going to change the workouts around? They're going to change the stations because it's never going to last. Well, then you think, well, look at Ironman. Ironman's 3, and that's never changed anything. So
Yeah.
I don't think Hyrox are ever going to change the stations. I think they'll always stay the same. Like, if it's not broken, there's no point fixing it.
Yeah,
But
no,
I think
great.
there will be. I think I can see there being a lot more of these hybrid races like popping up.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the north as well, where you guys are, there's things popping up all the way around you, and actually, there's a couple of well-known affiliates of Hyrox that became affiliates of other programs really quickly as well.
Yeah.
As well as being CrossFit as well, CrossFit gyms, and they're kind of got a bit of every string to their bow.
Yeah.
You kind of mentioned CrossFit earlier on. Do we think really CrossFit is a bit of just a hybrid sport, but we hadn't defined it when it first came out as hybrid?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when you think it's what the 3, they got like a Olympic lifting, is it gymnastics and
Like strength endurance, isn't it?
yeah.
It's
I think even CrossFit now, it's starting to become like more. When you look at the workouts, a lot more erg based workouts a bit thrown in there. The runs seem to be getting a lot longer. Like previous to Hyrox, it was, what I can remember, it was just Murph. Like that was the longest.
That was the longest thing there was. Yeah, no, I agree.
It just seems to be getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, never tried a Murph. purely because I can't do the movement. But yeah, no, you're right. You are right, and it does the games. The games events seem to be getting longer and longer and longer, and it just for me looks like a hybrid endurance sport at times now.
Yeah.
See
it in the Olympics. I reckon I can see it happening. Maybe not next one, but the one after that, with because it's stuck to the same 8 movements and with a run. Like there's no reason why that couldn't be an Olympic sport.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I'll ask you about that in a second, a little bit more actually, because that's a great point you raised. But like, this whole like Hyrox CrossFit. Oh, at first, people when they first find out about Hyrox, people go, "Is it a bit like CrossFit?" And people kind of fob it off and go, "Yeah, it's a bit like CrossFit." It's nothing like CrossFit.
No.
But CrossFit have had a fair CrossFit or Castro, whoever we want to blame, has had a lot to say about Hyrox, right?
Yeah.
What I wouldn't mind seeing is on one day of the CrossFit Games, in the morning they do a Hyrox, and in the afternoon they do a Deca Fit. And let's see if these guys really are, the fittest on earth. Because they could do that in their weekend, surely, it'd just be part of their weekend. But
in fact, that's how I got into. That was my first introduction to Hyrox. Was I was doing a CrossFit comp in Clitheroe, and one of their events was this Hyrox event where you had to do running and burpee broad jumps, and that was my first little teaser. I thought, right, I'll have a bit of this. This is a bit of me, and that's so that's how I was first introduced to it. But
so Hyrox as a sport, as a fan, I'm sure you're a fan. Like I always say here on the show that I'm a massive fan of CrossFit, always have been.
Yeah.
And Hyrox has come in, and I'm actually quite a big fan of the elite race.
Yeah.
Now, I appreciate, like you say, most of us are never going to get there, but I am a fan of it because I find it really entertaining.
Yeah, because you appreciate, because you race like this, you appreciate what they're doing out there is unbelievable. Like same when you do bits with anything, like even like a bit of CrossFit, you understand what they're doing solid. So like you're invested in, how you're watching how they do the burpee broad jumps, how they're pacing the sled. So then you just it's good.
And it's brilliant, and I love it. And from your perspective as now ambassador as well, do you see people being entertained by Hyrox? Do you see it as like that entertainment sport as well? Do you see it? Do you like it as a sport in terms of watching that Elite 15 race in Nice? What an atmosphere it was. I found it amazing. But as a sport, it is growing and growing and growing rapidly.
Yeah.
Elite 15, will Elite 15 have to become Elite 30 or Elite 20? Like, what do you think could or should happen in your opinion?
Maybe the 15 is probably a good number, because I think that is the best of the best at 15, and it wouldn't surprise me if you start seeing that. Like you'll see this on TV, or like it'll be like a box office type of thing. Like you pay for the boxing. I can see this being a thing where you'll stay up and you'll watch the Elite 15. Like actually, obviously me and you stay up to watch it anyway, but like it's all that the qualifiers and all that type of stuff. I can see it being like a football thing, which is like you'll watch on TV. 100%.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. And the Buttery Bros from CrossFit, obviously they were in Nice, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I did fanboy them a little bit. I'm not going to lie, but
in
fact, I ended up on their episode. Actually, I'm on their episode from Nice, which is cool. Which, as a fan of their show for years, I was a bit like, oh my god, I'm on there. It's great. But I think they made a great point about the standard of the coverage of the Hyrox events already. Right. We're only a few years into this, but the standard of the coverage on the YouTube live is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And we're going to probably, for Amsterdam, we're probably going to do a watch along at the gym.
Yeah. See what I mean? See that's that'll be more common
You
in
know,
fitness.
bring your beers down and we'll have a Friday night beers. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to be a bit of a members social while
Yeah,
we have 2 hours of Hyrox racing on the big screen.
yeah. And see that's the community there. Like straight away, that's it. That's exactly what it needs to be.
You know, and that's cool. But as a UK ambassador, tell me, what do you think it means to us as people from the United Kingdom that we get a major this season?
Yeah, that well, obviously it'll mean a lot. I feel like, yeah, I think yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I feel like we can all get invested in it, and I think that's the big deal. Are you coming to is it Glasgow?
Glasgow, yeah. So, I
See that?
mean, I'll be there.
Yeah, we've got to be.
And you know what? I'll travel on, because I think it's on the Thursday night, isn't it? It's going to be
Right.
the Thursday night, the elite race,
Yeah,
because it's always the night before they kick it off.
yeah.
And obviously, the UK have loosely announced that there'll always be the Friday, like full event day now. So the date that's been, I didn't release any of this information. It's the other podcasts, but the speculation is that it's on Thursday, the 13th of March.
Wow. Okay.
As in the elite race in the evening. So I'll be traveling up on the Wednesday and getting involved in any sort of shakeout run on the Thursday morning. And, you know, that's all part of being a community. And you were there in Nice. You saw that. There was everyone and anyone who's involved in this community did a shakeout run, I think, in Nice.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's amazing. And, you know, the fact that we get it, would you say to people that are on the fence, come to Glasgow and watch it live in the flesh?
Oh, yeah, definitely, 100%. Like I always that's just the thing I tell my clients before they've even done their race, like just before they even got into Hyrox, is just go and look at it, go and see that it's not what you think it is. It's not like a load of like stallions just running around the track. It's just literally people, just normal people. And then once you see it with your own eyes, just pay your tenner, get your ticket, watch whatever, and then you'll soak up the atmosphere of it, and then come back. And I can guarantee you, once you've seen it, you don't even have to ask them to book a ticket. They'll go and book them themselves.
Yeah, no, I agree. Same. I've seen that happen
Yeah.
with our guys. And then the future of Hyrox, you mentioned the Olympics. What do you think the future of this sport is? Do you think part A, does it have longevity? Part B, can it be an Olympic sport? And part C, how do you think it will continue to grow?
It's definitely, I 100% feel like it's got longevity. I know like people are doubting it because they're saying it's the same movement, but then I'll always go back to Ironman, for example. Just look at that now. That's been going on for how long? And that's just 3. I think people will always be getting better and better at it. It's seeing the young lot coming through and just like pushing the limits on what can be done with it. It's great to see. I'm sure someone was saying it's grown. It's like 3 or 4 times the rate as CrossFit group per year. So like there's something that's just something we need to be appreciative to start with there. Like that's just a great thing there. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where we can go with this and what can happen. I can only see it going better and better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm excited about it already, which is why I do this show as well, because I think people like yourself, what you've said today, actually, the community and what it brings and what we're involved in on a race weekend. Like, I think you've kind of, you're never sure which way an episode's going to go, but actually what you've said here today, I think shows people that are maybe on the fence, maybe not sure, maybe have a misconception or stereotype of what Hyrox is. And actually, we're both sitting here from both sides of this fence having a chat about it and saying that community is so big and so vast in terms of ability and who these people are. You know, come and get involved. And I think, like you said, those statistics are huge. And, you know, what company kind of triples itself in a year, like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I'm sure it's more than that. I'm sure it's like, it's something ridiculous. Yeah, it's mad.
And this is in the first 5 years. This is not even like, it's not like it's been going 10 years and now it's taken off. It's actually starting to go for it. So yeah. Any words of wisdom or any tips you can give for anyone who's kind of, let's angle your question of any top tips for people that are on the fence of whether they should do a Hyrox or not?
I'd say just throw yourself in the deep end. Just go. Like, I feel like that first race that you do, obviously you're always going to enjoy it, but that first race, that is the best race you'll ever have. I can guarantee it, no matter how wrong it goes, no matter what you do, upside down, back to front, I can guarantee you that is the bet. You'll enjoy that more than any other race that you ever do. And then you've got your little benchmark there. You're thinking, right, now I want to go back. I'm going to do this different. I'm going to do that different. And it's just you just need to throw yourself in and just go. You just need to do it. And I can guarantee you will not look back. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, no. Cool. That's awesome.
There's
brilliant.
So many different ways of the options now. Like, say, with a relay, you can do your 2 runs and 2 stations, a mixed doubles or a doubles. You can just make your partner do the lot. Like, there's no excuses not to get yourself in there.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I think that is right. And anyone who's seen it will know that. Anyone who hasn't seen it, trust us. You know, trust Rob there, trust anyone else you speak to. The relay's a great entry point. But also, like you said, the doubles is a good way to start as well. But yeah, no, awesome, brilliant, mate. Well, thanks for coming on the show. You mentioned it earlier. Just remind us, where can people follow you?
You can follow us at r.jamescoaching on Instagram. Awesome. And also, before we go, I've got I can tell you about this now. It's not out there yet, but we're doing speaking of the community from Hyrox, we're doing a Hyrox challenge, which is going to be in the lakes. So Hyrox have got behind it, Built for Athletes are behind it. There's a few other people, but I can't say too much yet. We're going to do 8 stations of Hyrox up 8 different peaks, hills. So this is, we're going to try and get it done within, hopefully within the 24 hours. That's the next little challenge that we're going for. Let's try and get it in before it starts raining every day. It gets too cold, but that's the next. I'm saying it out loud, so I know it's going to happen. So
yeah. So what? Almost like some sort of free peaks challenge, but with Hyrox stations.
It's like an 8 peaks challenge.
An 8 peak challenge.
If you're about, mate, and you fancy giving me a hand moving bits of sled up to the top of a mountain, you are more than welcome to come and get involved.
Yeah, I mean, I used to talk about how flat Cambridge was on my other podcast, and you know, being from Cambridgeshire, other than Lincolnshire being flatter, we are flatland. So my experience of going up anything that resembles a hill, let alone a mountain, is absolute minimal, other than what I've happened to do on my sort of running journey. But I think it's definitely something that we wouldn't mind coming and seeing if we can get some content at least.
Well, you said it now. You said it out loud.
Said it out loud.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll see you there at the top.
My family will kill me. You know, no, that's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, no, thanks for sharing that. It's always great to get a little snippet of something that's going to be out there, and I'm sure we'll see that on your Instagram as well. Will we? We'll hear about it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and we'll look for that and we'll share that whenever that comes up. Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
No, thanks for having us. It's been great.
Awesome. And so to everyone who's listened today and watched wherever it is you're getting your podcasts, I just want to say thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to what Rob had to say and our questions around what it was we were talking about. If you think there's anyone who needs to hear what we've said or wants that little push over the line to get involved with Hyrox, I think this would be a great episode for everyone to share. So feel free to share, like, comment. They really do make a difference to what we're trying to do here. And once again, Rob, just want to say thanks very much. Thanks for coming on the show. And for everyone listening, we look to meet here again to discuss more on the rocks.